Hey guys, I'm back with another rebalance video. Just wanted to upload something real quick because I know I haven't uploaded in a while other than my monthly. Hope you enjoy the video. So here I am doing one of my long-term clients. She just gets an overlay on her natural nails. I am removing her design with a coarse bit, and that is done so that if she has any lifting or she needs a cut down, this bit is perfect to do all of that, as well as thin down any pieces that are too thick. I'm currently removing a cat eye design, which was silver with white and black poke gel to create a lace effect at the bottom. This design didn't really come out the way I wanted it to, but sometimes that happens. So it is one of those things. So we're just taking it down as thin as we can go, because I will be doing something a little bit different on this nail set that she hasn't had done before, which actually works out in my favor because my freestyle clients, I get to do things on them that I may only ever get to do very rarely. And that's what I appreciate about them. They give me full creative control and I can do whatever I want. Sometimes they may give me a color choice, which is fine. But for the most part, it's whatever I want. I'm going to take this time to ask a quick question. Ask a quick question. This is just me prepping with a tapered barrel bit. The question is, would you guys like to see my nail room? It's kind of a mess right now. I've ordered so much stuff and I'm working on organizing it and getting it together. But if that's something you guys would be interested in, just let me know in the comments. If you have any questions about products, because I don't type them in the description box, feel free to drop a comment and I will answer the comment. I'm not really big on putting products down there because I feel like, as I've said before in other videos, use whatever you want to use. You can find something close to what I use. And again, this is just me prepping the nail with a 180 sanding band and removing any lifting she has. So that's one of the reasons why I don't list products. I also don't care for the product hate that a lot of products get. It's not my kind of thing. I feel like you can make beautiful nails with inexpensive products, as I've said before. So it is what it is. If you see numbers on my bottles, that's because I do what's known as what expires first gets used first, also known as first in, first out. But sometimes first in, first out does not always expire first. So that was Young Nails Protein Bond, the first primer. The second primer is No Lift Nails Primer, which is an acid primer. And what you're watching right here is just me filling that back. of her nail with clear. And this is an optional step. So another quick question for you guys. Do you ever feel like you just have so much nail stuff, or you buy so much nail stuff that it gets a little overwhelming? I feel like I want so much and I buy so much that I'm like, you have no space for this stuff. Stop buying stuff. But then, you get on Amazon, you get on TikTok, you get on Temu and Shopify and Etsy. And next thing you know, they're like, oh, this is nice. Oh, I like that. And you're throwing stuff in the cart and you're buying stuff. And then you see small business products and you're picking that stuff up and you're buying that stuff. And next thing you know, you got 20 packages at home and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? I have no space for this stuff. That's how I feel a lot of times. Fortunately, though, I make a way. I get rid of some stuff. I give stuff away. I just recently gave away all of the nail lacquers that went with my gel polishes because I have not used them. And I wanted somebody to be able to use them. Hopefully, they weren't too old to be used. I also gave some nail thinner with it because God knows polish sits for a long time. It can dry out. But I just feel like sometimes it's better to give away things than to throw away things. And the majority of the polish I gave away was brand new, so I was like, I don't want to throw it away. And I shook most of the bottles anyway to make sure that the polish wasn't dried out. So it just needed a little shaking, a little remixing. I gave it to a young girl so she can play and explore her color desires, color theory, all that good stuff. Because it's safe for her to play with and it's no big deal. I do get a little carried away though with ordering stuff. Sometimes I will order stuff because a client sends me a nail picture. I'm like, I don't have that. Good and well, I will never use it again. Nobody else will want it. And that's a problem I have. I wish sometimes that we could just order the smallest quantity of things, or like one set. Let me get 2 Hello Kitty heads. Because unfortunately, we do not have a nail supply store in my area. The one we had moved to Richmond. So that's a no-go. Currently, you see me applying Milk Bath that I created myself. It is a combination of several acrylics. It is a mica acrylic that I have created, a glitter acrylic that I have created, along with a milky white that I created because, unfortunately, I don't like spending money on a whole bunch of stuff when I can just mix and try and color theory as best as I can. That is my motto. I already have hundreds of colored acrylic, and I'm not going to keep adding to that collection. I will just mix some stuff together. If my client says that's not good enough, I'll try to correct it a little bit more. If we can't get it right, then it is what it is. Because constantly buying stuff to suit clients will break your business. And that is not something I am comfortable with doing. Um, However, what I will say is when I applied this to her, it didn't have as many flowers as I thought it did. When I swatched it, it was heavier with the flowers than when I applied it to her. So I added more flowers to it, and yeah, I kind of think I overdid it a little bit. But if that is the case, like you're mixing acrylics and making things so that you don't have to buy it, considering you have a bunch of stuff, then just get a bigger container and add more milky or clear, whatever to it. Um, this acrylic also has McCart's Moon Shimmer, Moon something, and their Rose White, as well as a glow in the dark off brand acrylic that I purchased from Amazon a while back that I've never used. It's only a tad in there because I did not want it to be heavy. Because that acrylic is more on the dusky white side. I guess off white would be the better choice, but I don't really feel like it's an off white. I feel like it's a white that's dusty. I know that sounds crazy, but you know how like you've ever been in somebody's house that's like an older person who hasn't, they can't get around or clean as much as they would like to, and they can't afford a cleaning service, and they kind of have that we've been here forever dust on the walls. It's kind of that color. So it's a dusky white. But anyway, and this is me just removing a flower just so I can add to the other finger. I did not I had to wait for the flowers, excuse me, to come in to add to this acrylic, or else I would have kind of stopped while doing this set and added more flowers, because that would have made life so much easier. But sometimes we have to do things the hard way. And plus, I'm a part-time nail tech. I have a full-time job. I've been recently having some carpal tunnel issues, which has made me reevaluate my application and how much fouling I'm doing, along with, oh my God, I need to work out my wrists and my arms, because I don't even do this full time, and to suffer with pain because my full time job also requires computer work. I don't want to have surgery, so I have to start exercising my hands and wrists and arms. Hopefully, that will help eliminate or prevent the need for surgery. I also do compression, wrist compression, as well as I have two types of braces. I have the ones for night and the ones for working in. I don't really care to work in the braces, but it is whatever it is. I will work in the compression sleeves because that is easier to work with. I can slide a glove on and that's not a problem. So yeah, I've been trying to be better with application and filing, trying to cut that back as well as get my time down. I'm so proud of myself today because I had an extra short set and I have never been under or at an hour for an acrylic set because I am an OCD picky person and everything's got to be perfect. But what I'm learning is you will never get everything perfect with nails. And boy, that is hard for me. Now here you'll see me um, capping this with clear, but what I realized is it was making the nail thicker than I wanted to, but this particular clear was not working the way I wanted it to. It was bubbling. So I had to switch. It is the Kiara Sky jar, but it's a mix. It has something else in it with the Kiara Sky acrylic because I had too much stuff. So I had to combine some stuff. And since I didn't really care for this acrylic and the other acrylic that I mixed with it, it's not that it was awful. It was just wasn't up to my standards as far as, again, like I said, it bubbled. So, and I was working with it wet. What I also learned with this set, because I normally don't do a lot of encapsulated sets, is that one, if you're gonna put a clear down, it needs to be as thin as possible up under whatever you're encapsulating, because I like to file down to remove and not have to soak off. Two, if your shape needs to be refined before you file, refine your shape. Because what I realized is after I had fixed these flowers and encapsulated, I had filed off flowers from trying to get my shape perfect. And I was upset with that. And granted, this client likes her nails on the thicker side, but that's not what I was going for. So that's why I ended up filing essentially through the clear, which made me upset. I'm kind of starting to feel like I lied to you guys because I could have swore I switched out this clear, but I'm applying it to more nails than I anticipated, so maybe I didn't. Hmm. Or I could be mixing two clients up. That frequently happens to me. My days kind of run together because I spend most of my time working. When I'm not doing nails, I'm working regularly. When I'm not working regularly, I'm doing nails. This brush is, of course, the Young Nails number 8. I have so many acrylic brushes now. I'm like, don't buy anymore. And here we go, filing. And this is where I noticed I took off some flowers and stuff. I was not very happy with that. It made me quite sad, actually. It's just like I have all these beautiful flowers in this big bath. And no, I did not add any gold to this milk bath like most of the ones you see because mine is a mix with glitter. So it was not something I felt needed to be added. I did add it to a practice nail. And I wasn't happy about the way it looked. So and this is me hand filing to refine that shape. And like I said before, I will be talking during a lot of my videos. Just because I don't want copyright strikes with music. And it's not that I'm lazy, it's just I'm short for time. So to take the time to find music that isn't copyrighted is a lot. I even downloaded the YouTube Studios, which I guess if I'm not on the computer, it doesn't allow you to use the music library. So I was like, okay, whatever. Because most of my videos are recorded on my phone and I don't transfer them. Even though I did just get a newer laptop that anytime it's turned on, it goes, hey, to my phone. I'm on. I'm like, oh, isn't that lovely? So yeah. Now you saw me just clean the nails with some Young Nail Swipe. Because the nails are freshly filed and I wanted to add some accents since we're not doing anything else. I just waited. I did not base coat or top coat these nails. I just applied the rhinestone glue. And then apply the embellishments. I feel like doing nails is an addiction. And a lot of times to a bad point. Because you get so addicted to all of the stuff you see. You see a set of nails and lo and behold, you want to buy the stuff to do it or you want to learn how to do it. And then it gets to the point where you're like buying all of this stuff. And then you have so much stuff and then you have a ton of stuff that you're not using and all the stuff that you're actually using or you use on a regular basis. And it's like, oh my God. I had to buy a new handheld lamp because I wanted the timer on it. My other one is a little bit broke. It still works. I dropped it a few times, so it's cracked. So the little portion of the lens that covers the light falls out, and it's not acetone resistant, so the little paint has come off and it looks a little dingy. And I'm not okay with showing it looking a little dingy. So I was like, if I'm shooting videos or I'm doing clients' hands, I want a cleaner light. My little dingy one can do toes because nobody's paying that much attention while I'm doing their toes. And yes, I am a tech that does toes. I do not shoot toe videos though because I do not have a setup for that. The only way you will see the toes I have done is in the monthly recap shorts that I post because your girl be tired. And my setup is not set up to have a camera and or a phone everywhere. Your girl ain't got that kind of money. And I do this mainly out of enjoyment because I wanted to be an artist when I was young. But unfortunately, I grew up in a poor family that didn't believe in creativity and the talents and gifts that I had. It wasn't until I got with my father that I could explore creativity. But by that time, it had died. Abuse had killed it. So it wasn't very much left. And then still being poor and missing out on opportunities to go away for college or gain scholarships kind of ruined that part for me. But, life happens. Um, anyway, I always base coat my acrylic and I never buff. I do not buff because one, I feel like it's an unnecessary expense. Two, I feel like it also makes the nail too smooth and you'll get chipping from your polish. Now, people buff and stand by it every day and say they don't have any problems. Hey, knock yourself out. I have proven time and time again that no base coat and buffing, we get chipping of the polish. So, and base coat wasn't only meant for gel polish nails only, or builder gel. I don't know where that concept came from. I guess because we're so used to seeing what was done in the Vietnamese shops, which this is not a knock to them, but they are built for speed. A lot of them are coming a long way and becoming more built for quality. Hey, whatever floats your boat. But for me, it will always be a base coat, and it will always be I'm not buffing. Um, hand filing, e-filing. That's enough. That is enough. And plus, with the current situation I have going on, where I'm having to do pre-workouts before doing nails and throughout the day, baby, I'm good. I don't need to add another step. Plus, depending on what you're getting, we're talking about 2 to 3 hours. And if you're getting something very intricate, we're talking about 4 hours. So after top coating, base coating, here is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys will try and make your own. If you haven't bought it, enjoy.